When you look at this young lady, right away you can declare with absolute certainty that she is a human child, made up of muscle tissue, bones, internal organs. We can make a similar observation of this sheep. It too is made up of all the above mentioned physical traits. Can we then conclude that given the similar physical traits, the two are very similar creatures? Materialistic science says, yes, you can. They are in fact both animals. Materialistic science ignores a mass of evidence to the contrary, simply because it does not fit their model of characterization. There is a gap as wide as the universe between the girl and the sheep, and you are completely aware of it. This young lady understands mathematical principles and written and verbal communication. The sheep can't hold a pen and wouldn't know what to write if it could. This fair maiden has dreams for her future, remembers important details of her past, and has a sense of time passing. The only thing this critter will pass is digested grass. Our little angel can quickly determine when a problem is unsolvable, something the greatest supercomputer on the planet cannot comprehend. She has an appreciation for music and art, and hopes to create a better future for herself and humanity in the field of science someday. Our wool-clad friend here isn't thinking about much at the moment. Humans have something, animals do not. It's that something we're all aware of, but can't prove through narrow-minded, materialistic science. Will you conclude that science needs to fairly evaluate, even if it stretches their framework? Or should you mouth the words, "I'm just an animal," even though you know this isn't true? Thousands of years of recorded history across all cultures have acknowledged the existence of a psyche, or a soul, within us. This is where the term dualism comes from. We are made up of two parts, the psyche, which is the soul or spirit, and the soma, or flesh. Plato defined the soul in three parts. The soul is made up of 1. Logos, or the mind and logic; 2. Thymos, or emotional motive that drives us to acts of bravery and glory; and 3. Eros, or base appetites, which, if left unchecked, drives us to hedonism. Aristotle defined the soul as the essence of a living being. Freud calls it the id and ego. Most people will agree there is an inner self. When you say you love someone with all your heart, you're not talking about a 3-pound organ that pumps blood. When your heart is broken, or you're filled with heartache, there is no need of an ambulance. We use the term heart to define that inner person. If you're still shaking your head, think about this. The study of psychology is, or used to be, the study of the psyche, or soul. The profession has drifted into the narrow confines of materialistic science recently, however, and now limits its exploration to biology and neurology alone. Here is something you may not know about your soul. From the time of birth, it is in a darkened state, a state of incompleteness, which causes us, as Plato says, to seek base or carnal fulfillment, which leads to hedonism. Think about this. Everyone around you is chasing after the very same things: wealth, power, sex, control, respect, and pleasure. What is the root cause of this? Why do we naturally desire these things and at the same time consider them wrong? In the Bible, we find not only a clear understanding of the condition of our soul, but how the inner person can be transformed into something completely different from what it is. When a Christian is born again, it is not a second birth of the body, rather a birth of the spirit into new life. This supernatural miracle is happening all around you on a daily basis. It is not concerned with those who doubt and mock. It is concerned with you and your fallen soul, your inner person. In fact, God's Spirit reaches out and whispers to the soul in the hopes that the soul may turn to God. When I say turn to God, there is only one thing that can heal the soul from its fallen state. No amount of good and kind acts can transform the soul. Almost everyone you meet will tell you they are a good person, but what standard of goodness, and to what end? What do their occasional charitable acts mean to the soul? Only the perfect sacrifice of Jesus Christ was powerful enough to overcome the taint of our cursed soul. The gift of salvation is entirely free. Imagine an emperor's fortune just handed to you. Offering to do some nice thing in exchange for this great prize is insulting, to say the least. Nothing you ever do will come close to paying for it. It is a gift because we can never earn it. Take the gift. Thank God that your soul is of such value to Him. Confess with your mouth and believe with your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, and you will be saved. Your fallen and carnal soul will be healed. You will be born again. Your desires will be different. Finally, not a slave to the desires of this world, you will be free for the first time in your life. When the Spirit is born within you, death loses its power. You no longer see it as the end, but the door through which you pass into eternal joy, apart from suffering and inner torment. The North American culture has been reduced by narrow-minded academia into a narrow-minded state of belief that if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. Culture may continue to think this is true, but you have the freedom right now to blaze your own trail, make your own destiny. Shrug off this insanely narrow worldview. The spirit world and your soul are real and exist all around you, whether you believe it or not. The problem with laughing at this is that your doubt does not excuse you. Your excuses will not stand. When you take your last breath, your soul will rise to judgment, and you will give an account for your life. I didn't know won't help you.